Hi guys, I'm back with another video. Today's video is going to be reactions for NXT Halloween Havoc 2025. You guys know how these videos go by now, so I'm just going to get right into it. As always, you guys know how these go by now, so I'm gonna get right into it. Let's just get right into the results. So I got 4 out of the 6 matches correct, which is overall a good pay-per-view for me. And overall, the pay-per-view itself was pretty good, so let's get right into it. So the first match of the night is a tag team match: Javon Evans and Leon Slater versus Mr. Iguana and La Parca. Winners of the tag team match: Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Now, unfortunately, I predicted this match wrong, but as I always say in every predictions and reactions video, you're not going to get every match right, but you're not going to get every match wrong. And that's the fun thing about predicting. You never know what's going to happen. You're going to get it right or you're going to get it wrong. And that's the fun thing about predicting is you'll either get it right or you'll get it wrong. But as for the match itself, it was a good match. It was a fun time. In the terms of storytelling and storylines that are currently going on in NXT right now, this really had nothing to do with the show. It didn't really have anything to do with any major storylines. And it was definitely not the match of the show, but, it was a fun match. I mean, it was, Mr. Iguana had his Mr. Iguana stick in the match, which is always fun. And then you got a bunch of high flyers in the wing with Javon Evans, Leon Slater, Mr. Iguana, and La Parca. And overall, I thought the match was just fun. Not the best match on the show, but the match was fun and it was good. The second match of the night is the Day of the Dead match for the NXT North American Championship. Ethan Page, the champion, versus Dr. Wagner Jr., winner of the Day of the Dead match, and still the NXT North American champion, Ethan Page. Yeah, like I said in my predictions video, I'm not really too surprised with this outcome. Ethan Page was the safe pick going into this match. He was also the safe pick going out of this match. And I just didn't really see him losing the title. Another factor you have to think about in this match is it's Ethan Page going after the AAA Latin American Championship, not Dr. Wagner Jr. going after the North American Championship, the NXT North American Championship. But because Ethan Page defeated Dr. Wagner Jr. in this match, there is definitely a possibility that because Ethan Page defeated Dr. Wagner Jr. in this match, Dr. Wagner Jr. is going to have to defend his AAA Latin American Championship against Ethan Page in the future. So definitely keep an eye out for that. The match was great. You guys already know what I'm going to say about this. I'm biased towards stipulation matches, and this was a stipulation match, so I thought the match was great. The third match of the night is a singles match for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Zarya, the champion, versus Blake Monroe. Winner of the singles match and the new NXT Women's North American Champion, Blake Monroe. Yeah, I pretty much knew Blake Monroe was going to win. Like I said in my predictions video, this match was very tricky because it's different from what they normally do. Typically, when a champion is injured, they either strip or vacate them of the title, but they decided to go with the story of Zarya defending the NXT Women's North American Champion in the honor of Sol Ruca. They even had Sol Ruca ringside. And, like I said in my predictions video, my pick was Blake Monroe to win, and, I got that correct. I mean, honestly, this wasn't the best match on the show, but it was a good match. I mean, Zarya and Blake Monroe are both great wrestlers that can put on a great match. I just didn't like. I didn't really like the storyline, and I didn't really like the build up to it because, in a realistic sense, it doesn't make sense to me why they would do that. I would have figured that, Sol Ruka would vacate the title, and whoever would win this match would become the new champion or whatever. But they didn't go that route. They just had Blake Monroe versus Zarya, Zarya defending the title in Sol Ruka's honor. But the big thing that really comes out of the match for me is that Blake Monroe is the new NXT North American champion. But another thing that also comes out of the match is I think this is going to be the breakup of Sol Ruka and Zarya. I'm sorry. I think this Tuesday, one of the two is going to turn heel. Either Sol Ruka is going to turn heel or Zarya is going to turn heel. The more likely out of the two is going to be Zarya, but I feel like Sol Ruka could definitely turn heel too. So keep an eye out for that. The fourth match of the night is a singles match for the NXT Women's Championship. Jacy Jayne, the champion, versus Tatum Paxley. Winner of the singles match and the new NXT Women's Champion, Tatum Paxley. So this is definitely the match that I talked about the most in my predictions video. And what do I have to say about this that I haven't already said in my predictions video? I had a lot to say in my predictions video about this match. Tatum Paxley was in the same place as Lola Vice in terms of winning at a championship in NXT. Like I said at the NXT No Mercy pay-per-view when Jacy Jayne defended her NXT championship against Lola Vice. Lola Vice could be called up to the main roster at any time, at any place, at anywhere. And I said in that match, it's now or it's never for Lola Vice to win the NXT championship. It's either fate or destiny. It's past or future. The past is her losing the championship match. The future is her winning the championship. The same thing goes for Tatum Paxley in this case, like I said in my predictions video. Tatum Paxley, she's had multiple championship matches on NXT. She faced Sol Ruka for the NXT North American Championship earlier this year. In 2024, she faced Roxanne for the NXT Championship on a NXT TV. And then tonight, in her first pay-per-view match, which is kind of hard to believe, but it is, her first pay-per-view match and her first match at a pay-per-view for a championship against Jacy Jayne was tonight. And like I said, it was now or it was never for Tatum Paxley to win a championship on NXT. Yeah, she could have lost this match and went back down to the mid-card and, fought Blake Monroe for the NXT Women's North American Championship. But at that point, I wouldn't think she would win because I feel like Blake Monroe is going to have the championship for a while. And I didn't think Tatum Paxley was going to defeat her for the championship at that point. That would be the future, but like I said, it's now or it's never. It's fate or destiny. It's past or future. And I would like to say that Tatum Paxley did get the win in the end. A lot of people are probably going to be shocked by this outcome. I actually got a comment from one of my subscribers. Shout out to C Nation Dog for commenting on my channel, bro. Thank you, I appreciate it. But he was like, how did you know that Tatum Paxley was going to win the NXT championship? And I told him, the exact same thing I said in my predictions video, and I added a little bit more onto it. I said to him in that comment, I said, it was the same case for Lola Vice, and it's the same case for Tatum Paxley. It's either now or never, fate or destiny, past or future. What do those things have in common? Well, now or never. Never means she's never gonna win a championship in NXT. Uh, fate. Her fate is her not winning the championship. Past is her losing opportunities and not winning the championship. Now, what are these other things? Now is her winning the championship. Destiny is her winning the championship. Future is her being champion. See what I mean by this? It's like you're either gonna go all in or you're not. The thing they did with JC Jane is the same case for Lola Vice and Tatum Paxley. Nobody ever thought that JC Jane was going to become NXT champion. And guess what? She did. She became champion. She had 6 title defenses. She held the title for, over 6 months, 151 days. And, that's great. But like I said for Lola Vice and Tatum Paxley tonight, is the same thing a lot of people were saying for JC Jane. A lot of people didn't think Tatum Paxley was going to win the championship tonight. And you know what? I put my faith in her, and she won the title. So that truly shows you what type of fan that I am if I believe that Tatum Paxley was going to win the title tonight. And I know I'm kind of going on a rant about this, but I talked about it a lot in my predictions video, and I'm talking a lot about it now because, like I said, the same thing happened to JC Jane, the same thing happened to Lola Vice, the same thing happened to Tatum Paxley. 2 out of those 3 people actually won the NXT championship, JC Jane and Tatum Paxley. Now, what if Tatum Paxley lost this match? Well, she would end up being the same case as Lola Vice. Being called up to the main roster and never winning an NXT championship. But that didn't happen. Tatum Paxley win. All respects to her. She's a great wrestler. I've been watching her since the beginning of her career, and it's great to see her develop. It's great to see what she can do, and I'm so proud and happy for her winning the championship tonight. I actually was so happy that I actually clapped after this match. I clapped. Thank you, WWE for NXT, WWE, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, everybody involved, putting their faith in Tatum Paxley and having her win the championship tonight. But anyway, I've talked long enough. Let's get on to the next match. So the next match is the fifth thing is the Broken Rules tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. The Broken Hardys, the champions versus Dark State. Winners of the Broken Rules tag team match and the new NXT Tag Team Champions Dark State. This match was an iffy match to begin with. I felt like the Broken Hardys were going to win because they were the safe picks going into this match. They were also the safe pick going out of this match. And I also felt like, why would they lose the titles so early in their title reign? They've only held the championships for 2 weeks. Well, I guess I was wrong because Dark State won this match. Now, this match was great. Another stipulation match, by the way. Yeah, very biased. I'm going to love this match, and which I did. But, I mean, does it really matter that the Hardy Boys lost the titles to Dark State? Not really. I mean, I feel like they were going to win them back eventually. It's not like the New Day were going to hold the titles forever. And, comparing their title reign to the New Day only held the NXT Tag Team Championships when they won them. they were the first tag team to do it, but the Hardy Boys are the second. But the New Day held the titles for like 60, 66, 67 days or whatever. I can't remember how long it was, but they held the titles for at least 2 or 3 months. And this reign was shorter for the Hardy Boys, but I feel like that, NXT has an in-depth roster that I feel like that it's okay that Dark State won the titles back. And I think Dark State is a great team. They have a lot to prove, and they have a lot to say. So overall, I thought the match was great. Biased again, but whatever. I mean, I like stipulation matches, so a lot of people are probably just like the Tatum Paxley thing. A lot of people are probably thinking that I'm marking out because I'm happy that she's champion. And a lot of people are probably thinking that I'm marking out because I like stipulation matches. But it's whatever. We can all have our own opinion here. But anyway, the sixth thing and the main event is a singles match for the NXT Championship. Ricky Saints, your champion, versus Trick Williams. Winner of the singles match and still the NXT champion, Ricky Saints. Yeah, I'm not really too surprised by this outcome. Like I said, Ricky Saints was the safe pick going into this match. He was also the safe pick going out of this match. I just didn't really see him losing the title. And another thing I think about this is, I said this in my predictions video, but what is the reason for Trick Williams winning the championship from Ricky Saints? What is that going to do? Like, if you think about it, Trick Williams has already won the NXT Championship twice. He's already won the NXT North American Championship. Hell, he's even been TNA champion. So it's like, how much more stuff is Trick Williams going to do on NXT? There's a couple more feuds they might be able to do with him on NXT, but they're going to have to call him up to the main roster eventually. And I think they're going to do that for him real soon because it's just, there's no point in him winning the NXT Championship again. There's no point in him winning the NXT North American Championship again. I could possibly see him winning the TNA World Championship again, but I don't really care about that. Like, he already did it. Like, what's the point? What's the point of him winning the title from Mike Santana? Like, what? Come on. Call him to the main roster, please. Like, it's his time. He needs to be called up. It's his time. Now, how well they're going to use him on the main roster is another case, and I don't know how well they will be able to use him, but I think it's time for him to call up. And Ricky Saints is definitely the future of WWE. Same with Trick Williams. Right now, he's having his time in NXT, building up his character for the WWE audience so they know who Ricky Saints is when they call him up eventually, but that's my thoughts on this match. The match was great. So, what do I think is the match of the night? The match of the night for me, there was a lot of great matches on this show, in my opinion, and yeah, it's hard to say, but I'm going to have to say the NXT Championship match, and a lot of people are thinking, Joey, why are you choosing that match over the NXT Women's Championship match? Well, that match wasn't the biggest match of the show, but it was a great match, but it wasn't the biggest match of the show. The match with the most importance is the main event, and Ricky Saints and Trick Williams on paper is a great match, and it was. So that's my match of the night. But don't be too shocked because my underdog match of the night is actually the NXT Women's Championship match. I thought that match was great as well for a lot of reasons, and I've talked about it earlier. I don't think people want to hear my opinions anymore on that match because I went a whole rant about that match, but once again, congratulations to Tatum Paxley. Okay, so what's the honorable mention? I don't know which match is better. Both matches were great. They're both great stipulation matches. I'm trying to think about this because it's hard. It's hard, people. I don't know. You know what? I give both of them honorable mentions. You know what? Fuck it. I'm giving both of them honorable mentions. Both of them were great stipulation matches, and I like both. So both the Broken Rules tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Champions, the Broken Hardys the Champions versus Dark State, and the Day of the Dead match for the NXT North American Championship, Ethan Page the champion versus Dr. Wagner Jr. are both honorable mentions. Like, they're both great matches. I don't have anything bad to say about them, so those are both my honorable mentions. And those are my predictions and reactions for NXT Halloween Havoc 2025. Please post a comment. What were your predictions and reactions for Halloween Havoc 2025? And if you guys like this video, please don't forget to please like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace, period.